This is a quick little video on how to adjust the feed dog height on your Brother Innov-is 40, or it's also a model NS40. There are other videos out there that I will link to how to take it apart at the seams in here, how to open it up, other things on cleaning it, the quickie fix that if it's just a matter of adjusting this down and up and then lifting this up to get it back in the groove, and those are your fixes, that's fine. None of those worked for this. The feed dogs would not come above the height of the needle plate. So this took some other MacGyvering, not really MacGyvering, it's just a matter of an adjustment. I am not a Brother service tech. I do not work for Brother. I am a sewist with over 40 years experience, and I own machines, and I am accustomed to troubleshooting. And to get a better look, to visualize better, because I didn't want to have to keep holding the feed teeth up, I wound up putting I need two other hands here. Sorry for shaking the camera. I put a small spool under here to hold this up for me so I could see better. And the thing that adjusts the feed dog height is this is the nut that holds this inner nut that is adjusted with an Allen wrench. And it has taken 5 days for this nut to loosen, and I'd already adjusted it, and then after the fact I thought I should have made a video because there are no other videos. So in the event that your nut is frozen there, you do not want to force it. I have a micro Q-tips. Take some regular sewing machine oil and just put it around the base of the nut. And you might have to do it, every day. I had to do it every day for 5 days until it loosened. And then when it does, I'll come back and show you the adjustment. Okay, we continue. Well, it has taken that long, but the nut has softened enough that I can loosen it. To loosen the nut for this Brother, you turn it counterclockwise or to the left, and I have an adjustable wrench here. And so I've already loosened it, but it just goes on. Turn it to the left. You shouldn't have to really torque on it much. If you do, then you still need to put more oil at the base and let it continue to soak. So once the nut is loose, it doesn't have to be super loose, just loose enough. Then you can start making the adjustment with the Allen wrench. And the thing that actually raises the feed dogs is this post right here. So by adjusting this, and we're going to turn this to the right. Yeah, so we're turning this clockwise to lower this, and by lowering this, it's going to raise these, and we need them high enough to be above the needle plate. If they say there, you can actually buy a tool to adjust. I still have my spool of thread here to hold it up so I don't have to pry it with my fingers. From what I've read, they're saying it's like 0.8 millimeters, and there is a tool that if you did this for a living, you'd want to get to be sure to calibrate them correctly. I don't do it for a living, but I'm also not going to purchase the tool either. I think that's where I had it before when I did the adjustment, so I'll put this down and we'll take a look. The height is going to be less than the depth of a dime. If it's more than that, they're too high. And also, if you read the manual, when you set these from low to high again, you either have to turn the machine on and put it in a needle sew position, or you have to move the hand wheel around, because if you don't, it does not actually reset it. So let's move this, move it all over. All right, I've got to put the plate on just long enough to see. I'm checking the adjustment before I actually screw it down. So it's hard to see with the camera in the way. Sorry, folks. Yep, it's the little one that goes over here. Oh, there. It wasn't snapped down. Okay. Now you heard the click, right? That's when it snapped into position. So let's see if I can zoom in here and maybe readjust. I'll turn the hand wheel. And so they are above, and they do go below like they're supposed to. They drop down and come up, and when I looked before, it was about the height of my key here, and I feel like they need to be up just a hair more from where I had them before. I guess can always fast forward through this part, but it is part of the process, so you'll have to do your own adjusting. I think it needs just one more turn of the wrench. Let's see. Make sure I'm turning the wrench and not the screw. Sorry. Let's see. We'll put it back. I can see why some people have overhead cameras and side cameras, and I'm just not that fancy yet. And yeah, you have more room to work if you have the needle out. So and if the feed dogs came all the way to the front or all the way to the back, then they are in the wrong position. But that's not the issue here. The issue is the height, because they would not grab the fabric at all. And it'll be better once I now I wonder if it's too tall. No, that feels good. So I'm going to put this back together and we'll do a test sew. Okay, I'm back. The machine is threaded. If you're wondering why I have painter's tape, it's because when I was given the machine, I did not have the little cover that goes over the bobbin, so I don't want any drag from the quilt sandwich here. I've got it set on 5 for tension and 2, so it's just the straight needle stitch position, 2.5 stitch length and 3.5 length, 2.5 length, 2.5 stitches per inch. Okay, there we go. 2.5 stitch length. Okay, I'll quit talking while I'm ahead. Okay, let's see what happens if it feeds the fabric like it's supposed to. And when you're done, this machine does not automatically do it. You need to turn your hand wheel back to the top position where the notch is, so that the take-up lever is back to the top position, so it finishes top position here, so it finishes its stitch. Otherwise, you're in the middle of a stitch, and when you go to pull your fabric out, you wonder why it's pulling your stitches out too. So okay, let's see what we got here. So, yeah, looks good. And the other side also looks even. I can't just pull the thread out, so problem is once I get doing this, then I want to keep trying other stitches. There's actually another stitch on here I wish I had on my machine that has 1,000 fancy stitches, but I probably should make one of my own, one of these. Which one is it? Now that I say that, do you think I can find it? No. But I'm just going to do a decorative one for fun. And if you want to stop watching me now, you know, you probably got what you would have been useful, right? It's just takes patience and not having your thread wrapped around the foot. You probably can't tell it as well on the video. I have green in the variegated green in the top and purple in the bottom, but I can tell it in person. So back again to the top of the take-up, and I love this little leaf stitch. So cute. Green, purple, love purple. Okay, that's it.